Hi. Get to travel with me. It is an absolutely beautiful day. And I had so much fun yesterday. I don't even know where to start. I had so much fun. We got here on Monday. It was a 6-7 hour drive. We hit the traffic, which is notable. I am in Southern California. I'm in LA County, but I'm not in LA. I'm in Ontario, California, which I just thought it was all LA. Total misconception. So there's LA County, and then they have different cities that are all connected. And so I'm on like the far end. There's a lot of fun here. My husband's on a business training trip, and I got to come along. And so Monday we got here, we had dinner after a long drive, checked into the hotel, and just hung out the first evening. Then early the next morning, Sarah Nickel came and picked me up. It was a really long drive for her. It was an hour-long drive for her to get here, but she came with a smile on her face. Through all that morning traffic and everything, she came with a smile on her face. And we, where did we go first? Oh, we had a full day of adventuring. I've seen so many things, and I have so many pictures to show you. They're at the end of the video as usual. Oh, we have company. I wasn't planning on talking about this till much later. Check that out. Can I zoom in on a video? I cannot. I'm gonna skip ahead because we have an unexpected guest. It's a raven. I think crows have orange beaks. It's a raven. Through our adventures, we stopped at a thrift store. I'll get to that. But at the thrift store, I found this book for $1. It's Sock Yarn One Skein Wonders. I don't want to block our friend. One Skein Wonders. Oh, let me get to it. In the book, it's all knit. There was only one crochet pattern. It does say on here, well, I guess it doesn't say, but there's only one crochet pattern. In the very back, there's a crochet pattern, and it's called Nevermore Window Panel. I know, isn't that cool? He just introduced himself. I thought that was an awesome filet crochet pattern. It's got a graph in here. It's got a bit of a graph. Awesome. Yeah, really, that's awesome. Who doesn't love a good raven pattern? I don't see them very often, and it's so clear and amazing. Have no idea where I'd hang it or what I'd do with it, but I want to make it. He just jumped me to the very end of my story. That was pretty cool. Well, Sarah picked me up, and so I use Google Maps when I travel somewhere. I find like the focal point of where I'm staying, and then I do Google Maps and I like blow up the map. I put in yarn, I put in crochet, I put in knitting, I put in thrift shops, I put in coffee shops, I put in just like keywords that interest me. Coffee, yarn, no, I don't look up chickens everywhere I go, but you never know. There might be like a petting zoo or something. So I just put in some fun things and then see what pops up on my maps. And then it lets you create like a little points of interest route. And I put them on there, and sometimes we go and sometimes we don't. So one of them that popped up was I think it did say Phoebe's Yarns, Phoebe's Needle Point. It said something that looked like yarn, but when we put it into GPS, it gave 2 different addresses, and when we looked in on it, it wasn't anything there. But it was only a couple minutes away from the hotel. So Sarah drove me there. Chauffeured me, and there was nothing there. It was a parking lot with nothing there. Hold on one second. We got coffee today. there was nothing there. It was very strange. So then we moved on to the next thing. The next thing was a spot called Treasures and Junk. Junkie's Treasures. It was closed. So that was Tuesday. It was closed on Tuesday, which was weird, but whatever. I'm gonna go today, so there'll be another video. So Sarah and I didn't go to that. And then there was, oh my gosh, I had so much fun. So we couldn't find that place. Then there was a thrift store that we found, and it was just like a shop packed full of randomness. Man, I love those places. Their books ended up being the highlight of that store. One skein. I have the alpaca yarn that my friend Laura gifted me for Christmas. I have a dark gray one and like a brown coppery color. And in here is a knit pair of gloves, and they're open work on the top of the hand. I really like that. I live in California and it doesn't get snowy, but it gets like cold. It's intimidating because you're knitting each one of the fingers. So you knit the cuff, the thumb gusset, knitting the hand, knitting the thumb, and then it goes off telling you how to knit each one of the fingers. I marked it, but I don't know if I have the guts to do it. I think I marked it. They're very pretty. There was a lot of patterns in this book that really caught my interest. These socks with a butterfly motif on the cuff, that's beautiful. I'm not so confident in my knitting skills, but I think these pictures are so inspiring. It might give me the confidence to keep going with it. There was one in here I really wanted to show you. I showed you that one. It was like a baby. Look, isn't it adorable? I don't even have a baby in my life, but I think that would be absolutely adorable to put away for someday. So found that book. And then over in like a sloppier section, it said hobbies, and I found this home arts needlecraft magazine. It's huge. It's like a coffee table, and printed on it, it says Carol Louise Slater. Oh, it says from F-R-O-M, from May 19th, 1937, which it's printed May 1937, but she got it on May 19th, which is coming up. And I wasn't sure, needlecraft. So in doing my decades project, I found that a lot of crochet, knitting, embroidery, needle punch, all those are just wrapped together as one hobby, and it's usually needlecraft. And the magazines and catalogs usually have multiple different crafts in one catalog, which makes sense because it's not in everyone's household budget to splurge on something so frivolous as a magazine to leisurely look at. And where are you going to find the time in the 30s to sit around, right? Women were busy. But this one doesn't fit into any of the decades that I'm researching in depth. So I thought, let's just get it and share it and enjoy it. So I marked a few points of interest because I don't want to bore you with the whole magazine. The whole catalog has articles, and then down the sides of them are ads. And I marked some in particular. Don't want to bend this too much. It says, oh, we got weird lighting. It says, all the rage, Lily rug yarn. This popular idea in handmade scatter rugs. It's easy, quick to make, and lovely to look at, colorful and smart. Look at that logo. Lily is still around with sugars and cream. She's done very well for herself. And there's tons of ads going down, all similar to this one right here. Women who knit, turn your spare hours into money. I'm hooked. Yes, please, tell me more. I sit at home, my kids go to school, my house is clean, my aprons are pressed. If you have had experience with yarns and are competent to give knitting instructions, we establish you in business. No selling experience or investment required. Okay, now I'm really hooked because it's not in the budget, right? Write today for free fax, giving experience with yarns, reference, etc. The address is Department H. So you would probably contact Home Arts, Department H, and get more information on that. I can very easily see somebody interested in pursuing independence with that. Further along, it's a 2-piece hand knit dress. Can you imagine a hand knit dress? Okay, I'm not a blanket person because it goes on and on and on, but this lady, she even knitted the dots. Absolutely incredible. The first line says, hand knits have been accepted with large enthusiasm by the best dressed women. I agree, lady. You look extra sassy today. Beautiful, beautiful. You'll be the perfect little host in your apron. And then, for example, there's so much knitting and crochet information. This whole line in bold print, yarns, yarns, rolls developed, yarn business, details. Right, QW Mills, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Invest only $3. Well, $3 is quite a bit of money. Did it say on here? Yes, this catalog was only 10 cents. $3? I don't know. We'll see. Yarn, send for 400 free samples. Tweeds, $2.75 a pound. Shetland, $2.25 a pound. All flake and nub yarns. Would that be our roving? Flake and nubs. It's like a tweed or like a party yarn, how they have those little bursts in there. $4 a pound. Oh my goodness, that's the high price, high end stuff. And it's out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Fascinating. Oh, here's one for you. Free to crocheters. Send at once for a valuable illustrated manual containing instructions for making collar and cuff sets, buffet sets, luncheon sets, beverage sets, hot dish mats, doilies. Orchard Thread Company, 55 Orchard Street, New York City. Ooh, don't mind if I do. After all that crochet stuff, I am so hungry. So it says one package makes all four. It's Knox Gelatin, which is still on the market today. Let's see, what can we have? We can make a pineapple icebox cake. Sounds delicious. Oh, tomato jelly with shrimp, tuna fish, or crab meat. I don't know if I want that. So it has Knox Gelatin, cold water, hot tomato juice. Well, I guess I like V8, but I usually drink it cold. A teaspoon of lemon juice, some salt, some onion juice. I've never tried to juice an onion. A teaspoon of horseradish, diced celery, flaked shrimp, tuna fish, or crab meat. What if I try? I mean, I can get those ingredients. If I try, I guess it's not too much of an investment. I can use a can of tuna. It wouldn't be too much of a waste. I do grow horseradish at the house. I wonder if my family would eat it. What do you think? Would you eat it? Would you taste it? Tomato jelly with shrimp, tuna fish, or crab meat. Would you taste it? At least taste it, right? I don't know. But I have the recipe, so if you come to visit, I can mail it. My post office would be so upset with me. We'll see. What else have I been doing? Okay, so we rode in the car for 6.5, almost 7 hours here. I used, oh my goodness, so I used these are packed in my bag. I saved the little skein, the tiny little skeins for that tank top I was working on. So I have the front panel completely done, front panel. Ooh, see, it's nice and airy to wear like one of those lacy bralettes or a tank top under. So that's the front. This is the back. Very, very awesome design. So I did all the ribbing. I did the whole one panel, and then on the last 4 stitches of the back one side, you did a back loop, 4 double crochets. Then when you're starting the other side, you work from this end all the way in, and then you do back loop, 4 double crochets. So it's actually crossed by only 4 double crochets. Oh, you could see it. Makes a cute little triangle in the back, but it's not bulky, it's not irritating, really nice. So this is a very light D3, possibly a 2, which jeopardized my size quite a bit. So it's a boat neck front. It's a boat neck front. And the back is very open. Oh, my shirt is open today. Well, it's an open front, and it almost, suck it in, thanks skinny, almost connects. But that is not gonna be comfortable. Could make it for Nola, but I really wanted to make it for myself. So I have somewhat finished the pattern. I attached the shoulder seams. So I attached the shoulder seams, and then I started my mathing. Ontario Airport Hotel and Conference Center. That's where we're staying. So I figure I need 12 inches. So I did another ribbing, which will tie together perfectly fine. You chain 9, and then you do 8 single crochets, back loop only, all the way across. I always do both loops at each end of those, so that when I'm going back across, I have something to grab onto. So I did 6 inches. I'll do another side panel, 6 inches, and then from the ribbing bottom to a very, very comfortable armpit was 8 inches. My ribbing is 1.5 inches. So now I'm gonna do 6.5 inches as a side panel. And initially I thought, wouldn't it be fun to do some upside down filet crochet triangles going up, just to give like a detail on the side? But I don't think it's necessary. I think I'm doing too much. So it's double crochet. This thread yarn has beautiful texture to it. It's loosely spun, and then occasionally, so it's the yarn and then it has a thread wrapped around it. Occasionally you get to a little blurb, which is like some bunched up thread, and it gives a nice texture. It really, really does. I don't know if that's the best way to see it, but it gives it a really nice texture to it. I'm thinking I'm just gonna double crochet. I'm gonna double crochet. I'm gonna leave the raw edge on the top. I'm not gonna do like another ribbing under the armpit. I think it'd look very misplaced. At the end, when I get my panel seams, so I'm gonna have 2 seams under the arm, which is fine. I'm a very, very accurate stitcher, and when I sew that up, it's gonna look seamless. As a seamstress, I can do that. So I'm gonna work on that. In the car today on the way home, I'm gonna make those 2 panels, but I did get it started just so that I can get some measurements in there. So I did 32 ribs across, which means I'm gonna work 32 single crochets across it, which is what we did on the bottom ribbing, different number, but single crochet across, give yourself a nice edge, and then start doing the exact same formula as the front and back part. So that's from the car ride home. I'm not gonna use all of this. I still have quite a bit left. Those panels, I don't even think it'll take one whole one, but you know, best practice, it might use, it's not gonna use 2, but I have 2, so I'm gonna have 4 left over. I have seen a lot of handbag designs that are sunburst inspired or arched, and I have some beautiful purse handles at home that are like a bamboo, and then I have another one that's like a redwood, a deep rich red, which would be amazing with this mustardy golden color. maybe I wouldn't wear it when I wear the tank top, but it's such a pretty color. I don't mind incorporating that into my wardrobe a bit more. So that's for the car ride home. Using my trusty Clover tape measure. So that's gonna get to ride up front with me. We went to the bookshop. We went to a little bakery where they had artisan sourdough breads. Oh, the place smelled amazing. I got a huge chocolate chip cookie. It was delicious. I ate a bit of it with a super, super delicious rich coffee. And then I saved the rest of it for after the adventure. When I got back to the hotel, I was munching on my chocolate chip cookie. And Brandon got half of it too. That was fun. The place smelled amazing. They had rosemary sour bread. They had a multi-grain. They had the jalapeno cheddar. They had the Gilroy garlic, local. Absolutely delicious, and the prices were amazing. Early in the morning, Brandon and I went and got coffee, and he bought a piece of lemon pound cake from a little local coffee shop. And I'm sure somebody made it, and they can charge whatever they want. But it was like $5-6, and he was disappointed because they gave him the smallest slice in the case. So when we were at the little artisan bread place, it was called Old Town Bakery, I think so. I took a picture because they had an amazing wall display. But they had a whole loaf of lemon cake for $5. It was like fresh out of the oven. Yes, I got it for him. So he munched on that this morning, and I'm sure he's gonna munch on it on the way home this evening. But their wall display, they had some copper Jello molds, like I collect, remember? I took a picture, it's at the end. And then what did we do? Oh, we had so much fun. So we went to the bakery. Oh, and then we took a drive to downtown LA. Yes, I know San Francisco. It was San Francisco times like 10. It was huge. The buildings were enormous. There were so many people darting around and moving around. It was overwhelmingly awesome. I was just excited and jittery. And Sarah's an amazing driver, okay? These LA drivers are crazy. Like cutting people off, and then you cut me off, so I'm gonna cut off the next lane, and just switching lanes all over the place. Insane. And the traffic, everyone's trying to jump in the lane that's moving, which causes the lane that's moving not to move, right? I don't know how they get around the insurance. It must be insane around here. Sarah's an amazing driver. We had the 2 dogs with us, and they were in the windshield, or Butters was in the windshield watching everything. Excellent co-pilot, telling us which way to go and that it's time to stop and go potty. But we went to downtown LA. We parked in a parking garage, which was amazing because then we didn't really have to worry about the car at all. And we walked down to different streets and alleys that are jam-packed, shoulder to shoulder, full of shops. Open air markets up and down the street. I've been to Mexico a few times. It was like intense city shopping. Tons of tchotchkes, like anything you can imagine, packed full. Souvenirs, awesome things, and it was pretty cool. And we walked down. There was an alley that was full of assembly for piñatas. So they had one person stripping down cardboard to make like the forms and the shapes, and then they had like the tissue papers that they were cutting up and laying down, and in all stages all the way down. Oh, it was incredible. It was beautiful with all the colors. I took tons of pictures. One place had the whole corner of one of the city blocks. One of the corners was filled full of birds. All different kinds of exotic birds. I don't know my bird breeds, but they were all chirping and singing, and they had hamsters and guinea pigs. And then one booth was stacked full of these beautiful colored little plastic, I know they can't survive very long in that, but little plastic containers filled full of red-eared slider quarter-sized turtles. I know salmonella's crazy, but somebody's buying them, or it wouldn't be there. Also, this neighborhood, this area, I think it's called Fashion District, and then there was like Toy District, and well, this area is known for inspections. I'm not sure who's doing the inspections now that I think about it. I think maybe like health, public health or something like that. But they go in and they find all of the like knockoff items, like the eyeshadows that look like designer, but they're filled full of lead and not good for you stuff, or perfumes that are fake, that are relabeled. And like, we've seen it on the news and like little documentaries and stuff. That's what this was. Tons of pictures. Stay tuned for the pictures. And then, so we walked all the way down like this street full of awesome things, and there was a tiny little elevator that took us up and down, so we had to try to remember like what was being sold on the 2 stalls when you come out. But we wandered down and around, and there was a big sign, and it says yarns this way, and then you walk down this long hall full of booths and everything, and we get down towards the center of it, and I could see it. It was jam-packed, floor to ceiling, full of these big cellophane bags that contain 12 balls of yarn, tons of different weights, cordings, and border. I was overwhelmed. I probably took the most out of this whole trip. I've taken more pictures of wall, ceiling to floor, aisles and aisles of yarn. It was such a tiny little stall booth, but it's all imported from Mexico, so it's all different weights, mostly acrylic. Acrylic and cotton. I really didn't see much more than that. She did have one display of Rio brand yarn. It wasn't Malabrigo Rio. It was a different brand, but it had a texture like a I Love This Cotton kind of. She wanted $6.50 for a ball, and if you buy more than 5, if you buy more than 6, it drops down to $5.50 a ball. But the yardage on it wasn't. Oh, and so most of this yarn didn't have labels. That one did, but it was in meters. So, hey Siri, how many yards is in so many meters? Translator became my best friend, so I was like calculating back and forth to see how many I would need for 2,000 yards, which is my usual what I get, and I should probably bring it down to 1,500 now that I'm making slightly smaller sizes, but it would have been quite a bit of money. So I wasn't impressed, because with coupons and everything from the Hobby Lobby and the Joann's, I know this is supporting a extremely small business. I didn't have the vacation funds for that kind of spending. I was more interested in like trying to get a good deal kind of thing. I did find some things. I found some things. So, okay. Oh my gosh, where do I start? So I found, let's start. Oh, I remember I got the card. My phone cut off. Hi. Yarns. So, I'll start here. So I have no idea how to, the card, the business card, that's where I got cut off. I don't even know how to say it. Hilos. Mexican yarn. They support soccer, football. Wow, I really can't read much on the card, but I got her card. She's open from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. all week long. She accepts Zelle. I found this cotton, and so a lot of the yarn doesn't say what weight it is. It is a 1, maybe a 2, but I bought this one. The lighting's kind of off. Oh, that's better. I bought it because it's a skin tone, and I want to use this for amigurumi babies. Yeah, so I got that. It doesn't even have a colorway on it. 100 grams in net weight. She kept telling me in ounces how much everything was, and my brain doesn't really operate in ounces, but she did know meters, how many meters, because she buys in ounces when she buys, and a lot of it did say how many meters if it had a label. But again, a lot of it didn't have labels. It was just cakes of yarn in huge plastic packages, and there was 12 balls for 40 bucks, and you can mix and match. So if you wanted to do a whole gradient ombre, you could pick and choose and put it together however you want. This one is made by Omega Yarns. I know that you can buy directly from the factory. I'm gonna upload this before I start heading home. But at home, in one of my magazines, my crochet magazines, Omega Yarns has a website, and it's a website for the factory in Mexico, and you can order directly from them, which I really do like Omega Yarns. They do a lot with cotton threads, and you can order in bulk from them, and the shipping's not so bad here to California because it's just a jump up. So yeah, I got this one for amigurumi babies. And then I have a decades project that I've mentioned in passing. The theme of it, I don't want to give too much away. I mean, I'm really working hard on it. It's a set of 3, and it's grape themed. I'm trying to say as least as possible, because I don't want to give away too much, but I bought this. It's yarn, it's acrylic yarn, it's a thread weight, and it's grape themed. So I bought some embroidery thread, which I opened with you before, and it was purple, lavender, a purple, classic purple, and a white, which is what my pattern book shows as the example of this item. But I didn't think, the white didn't look grapey enough to me. Maybe because the transition in the colors, the white is just a little longer, so it takes up quite a bit of space in the individual components. I'm sorry, I can't really release too much. But I found this. Grapey, right? That is jam jelly. Look at that. This is lavender and a medium purple and a dark purple. And then this one is like a fuchsia pink purple, still a purple, not a pink. And then it's got lavender and dark. I think mixing these two in the components, yes, that is glorious. These were 75 cents. And I mean, I don't know how much this is or how much yardage this is, but we're gonna make that work. And then, so there's also a leaf aspect of it, a grape leaf. And I found this beautiful green. And this is just like a lace weight acrylic. It's got a tiny bit of sheen in one of the little threads that are on it. Not much, but grapes, right? That's not the color. This is the color. So I was really excited to get these. I didn't need a whole big bunch of it. It's a relatively small project. This is more than enough. I'm gonna continue on, because it's a set of 3, I'm gonna continue on with what I'm doing, and then possibly gifting that one. So the 3 won't match, but this is the colorway that in my mind's eye, this is what I had. Super excited. And then I like making small things with threads, and I found these. That was just an awesome green, like those little knitting frogs. That is just, it's an olive green, a lime green, mercerized cotton, made in Mexico, 100% cotton. This is like oh, my lighting's not very good. This is a very, very pretty burgundy on the purpler side. Purpler. It is color number 210. No, that's not what I would name this at all. This is a fine wine. Ah, that's what it is. It's a fine wine. Oh, I wish I will take a picture in excellent lighting so that you could see the goodies. So the brand on this one, it's like if you went to Hobby Lobby and they have those spools of 10 weight thread. Yeah, it says Pearl Arco Iris is the brand, and the phone number that's on here for the manufacturer is a phone number in Mexico. It's broken down into the bits. What colorway is this one? $8.79. Ugh. I think I have Hallmark with their creative poetry, If they got together with yarn companies, they can come up with some fabulous names. I will take some pictures. I didn't, but I'll take some pictures of these and attach them on there. Let's see, what else did I find? Oh, she had a whole back corner filled with yarn. Plastic yarn. So, plastic toys, plastic yarn. It's from Jalisco, Mexico. It says raffia decorations, contains net, one piece, made in Mexico, material PAD 100%, non-toxic. I got 2 of these because I've been seeing so many bags and purses and that sort of thing, and it's like raffia. You make bows and stuff out of it. Some people crochet the straw hats out of it. Oh, this would be awesome. Might be a little hot because it's plastic, but it's basically plastic bag. You know how people take the plastic bags and they cut them into strips and then loop them all together? I bought some. And it's a lavender and it's cool. Like the inside of it is kind of like looped like a flower in there. I'm gonna make some handbag, purse, fun something. And I got 2. I wasn't sure how much is in here, like how much yardage, but that's pretty thick. I thought there was a, when I looked down in there, it kind of looked like a cardboard core in it. No, there's no cardboard core in that. That is pure yarn. Fun stuff. And she had a huge assortment of colors. Oh my goodness. I don't know, the lavender just kind of like screamed to me. I want to be a purse. I want to be a summer bag. Then we were getting ready to go and I saw this contraption. I know, I didn't know what it was. I took it off her little hanger and took it around to her and asked her, I said, what is this? I see a safety pin and I see some wires down here, and then it's not in English. I don't know what that says. I guess I could use Google Translate, right? Modern technology helping me out. And so she took it out of the bag and then she showed me, she didn't quite know how to tell me what it was. So there's like a safety pin in there with a hole, and it's attached through these weird loops. And this is like a tube of metal folded on itself. And then it's got like this stopper piece. The tube comes down to a narrow point with a hole in it, and the thread is through that point. It's a punch needle punch. And when she showed me, instantly I knew what needle punch. I've been trying to do that at home lately. I have some pictures at the end that I'll attach of my attempts at needle punch from that boy needle punch that I got from the estate sale. But that one doesn't do tiny thread. And I know I'm just learning and I'm experimenting, but when you find a new hobby, you start collecting all the different variants, right? This is incredible. Somebody made this. And, why did I do that? I'll tape it back together. Oh, it had a hole. It had a cut out. The instructions are in imagery. I can understand imagery pretty well, so I'm excited for that. And then I can Google Translate the written instructions. It says it's made in Mexico. I think it was $3. I want to have fun and experiment with that for $3. So if I have the needle punch that I have does like 4-weight and 3-weight yarn, and this does tiny embroidery thread, I can get quite a bit of different texture on my needlepoint image when I hand draw just a simple little design. I'm experimenting with it. It's sitting on my little side table in my living room, but next to my spot. So when I get home, we'll have fun with that. Then where did we go? We did the yarn, and then we took the pups home because that was like a really long day for them. And what else? Oh, and then we went and ate chili rellenos, my favorite. And then we sat in traffic. Oh, I feel bad with all the traffic Sarah sat in to spend the day with me. I really appreciate it. I had a really, really good time, but that was asking a lot. I didn't realize that everything was so spaced out. And then when you get into like work commute times, like in the morning or the evening, yeah. But I think I wasn't driving. I think it was worth it. I got to have a really fun day. That was the day, and I was exhausted. That was so much walking. And we came home, and then today I took Brandon. I have the car today, so I took Brandon, dropped him off at training. I'm here visiting with you guys. I'm gonna go pick him up for lunch, and then after lunch he's got to go back to training for a few more hours, so I'm gonna go to a thrift shop called Treasures and Junkies, Junk and Treasures. That's gonna have to be another video that I'll upload tomorrow, but I really wanted to say hi to you and see how you're doing and make sure that you're having great weather and a lot of fun, right? Let's see. Oh, Stanley's here, keeping my ice super icy and cold. I've been sipping on water through the whole thing. I feel totally hydrated and energized. Thank you, Stanley. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. I've been thinking about May a little bit. So April showers bring May flowers. So I think I get to do flowers. I have a very, very old vintage pattern book that has fuchsias. You know, the little dancing ballerina flowers. I think I want to keep his May like super, super simple. So he's got a green glittery boot, and the top, my hooked on wishing crochet, is flowers. So I think I want to do long stems, vines kind of, all the way around just the top piece of Stanley, just the top piece, and then do the little fuchsias. And I have enough threads to crochet with. I think I can get that fuchsia pink and that rich purple that they typically are. I think I can get those colors just right. We'll see. May's still a couple weeks away. I'm having a good time. I did get a little bit of sun walking around in the market. So much fun, so much stuff. Stick around. I got pictures at the end. I'm gonna attach them all and get them uploaded before I leave the hotel. That way I don't have to drain my battery in the 6-hour car ride home. Thank you. Thank you for coming with me on my trip. I look forward to the comments below and questions. Hey, if I started talking about something and then I forgot to finish the thought, please remind me in the comment box below so that I can remember what I was saying. Take care. Thank you so much. Be safe.
gotta go.